Yo gang, hold up. This one finna shake the whole timeline. King Von's sister Kayla B just reacted to her mom Tasha's shameless viral photos at 50 years old. Yeah, you heard that right. The same woman who buried her son, held down the entire estate, and kept the O'Block legacy breathing is now out here posting bold, natural, body-positive pictures that got the internet in a complete frenzy. I'm talking spicy. I'm talking unapologetic. The kind of content that would have had Von sliding in her DMs telling her, "Ma, take that down right now." But instead of hiding, Tasha turned 50 and came through glowing, looking like she could pass for 32, flexing years of dedication and peace that only the bag Von left behind could provide. The comments went crazy, some praising her glow-up, others calling it shameless for a mother of a street legend. And right in the middle of all this noise, Kayla B, Von's own sister. The one who's been navigating fame, family drama, and grief in public. Is she backing her mom? Is there tension behind the scenes? Or is the whole Bennett family learning to let Tasha live freely after everything they lost? This ain't just birthday pics, gang. This is a mother reclaiming herself after burying her superstar son. This is a sister caught between loyalty to her brother's image and watching her mom finally breathe. The internet already losing it, and we ain't even scratched the surface. So don't you dare skip, don't close this video, because from the very first second to the last word, this story goes crazy. Let's go back a little so y'all can understand the full picture. Tasha Bennett, also known as Tasha, has been the rock for the Bennett family long before King Von became a household name. She raised her kids in Parkway Gardens, O'Block, one of the most violent and notorious sections on the south side of Chicago. Poverty, gun violence, daily stress that most people watching this video could never imagine. She was a young mother doing everything she could to keep her children together when the streets tried to pull them apart every single day. King Von, Davon Daquan Bennett, saw all of that. He lived it. And when he finally blew up in the rap game, his main mission was always the same: take care of his mom. He talked about it in interviews, he showed it in his actions, and most importantly, he made sure that even after he was gone, she would never have to struggle again. When Von passed on November 6, 2020, at just 26 years old outside that hookah lounge in Atlanta, everything shifted. Tasha didn't just lose her son. She became the guardian of his entire legacy: the masters, the music catalog, the brand, the image. Fast forward 5 years later, Tasha hits 50. And instead of a quiet dinner or simple family gathering, she decides to celebrate by showing the world her glow-up. She posts natural photos, confident, bold, embracing her body after years of hard work, consistency, and finally having some peace of mind. The internet exploded. Positive comments poured in. She looks 30-something. Inspiring. Black don't crack. But like always, the internet is never one-sided. A wave of negativity came too. People calling it shameless. People saying a mother of a drill legend shouldn't be posting like that. People wondering what Von would think if he was still here. And that's exactly where Kayla B comes in. Kayla Bennett, Von's younger sister, has always been vocal. She's been active on social media, dropped music, modeled, and stayed in the public eye while carrying her brother's name. When those photos of Tasha started circulating and going massively viral, eyes turned straight to Kayla. Was she supporting her mom? Was she uncomfortable? Did she feel like the family image was being affected? From what we've seen so far, Kayla hasn't made any strong negative statements dragging her mom. In fact, there are pictures floating around of mother and daughter together during the birthday celebrations. They look like they're bonding. Kayla even appeared in some posts showing support for her mom's milestone. But y'all know how this works. The family has had public tensions before. There were reports and clips after Von's death where Kayla had disagreements with certain family members, questions about respect, money, and how to move forward with the legacy. So when mom goes viral for bold content, it brings all those old conversations back to the surface. Let's be real for a second, gang. Tasha has earned the right to live however she wants at this point. She buried her son. She managed to keep his music alive, helping release projects like Grandson. She commissioned murals across Chicago so the city never forgets his face. She turned grief into generational wealth for the family. After all that pain, if she wants to feel confident in her skin at 50 and share it, who are we to judge? That confidence comes from survival. That glow comes from finally having the resources Vaughn worked so hard to give her. But Kayla's position is complicated too. She's still young. She's still building her own brand while forever being known as King Von's sister. Every move she makes gets dissected. If she fully supports the photos, some fans might say she's not protecting her brother's image. If she stays quiet or shows any hesitation, people call her unsupportive of her own mother. That's a tough spot. That's the weight of being part of a legendary but tragic family in the public eye. Vaughn was extremely protective over the women in his life. We heard it in his music. We saw it in how he moved. So the idea of his mom at 50 posting content that some people label shameless creates this interesting conversation. Would Vaughn approve? That question is everywhere right now. Some say he would want his mom happy and living freely. Others argue he would have shut it down immediately out of protection. This whole situation shows how grief doesn't have an expiration date. Tasha is still a mother who lost her child. Kayla is still a sister who lost her big brother. The money from the Masters helps with bills, but it doesn't erase the pain. Yet here they are, still standing, still moving, still figuring out life after Vaughn. As the photos continued to spread and the reactions poured in, Kayla B stayed relatively composed in public. She focused on family moments, shared some love for her mom's milestone, but the internet kept pushing for a bigger reaction. They wanted drama. They wanted her to pick a side. But maybe, just maybe, the real story is simpler. A mother healing in her own way. A daughter watching and learning. A family trying to stay united even when the world wants to pull them apart. Now let's talk about how these photos actually dropped and what happened next. Tasha didn't just post one picture. She went all in, multiple angles, natural lighting, captions about self-love, embracing your body at any age, and putting in the work after years of stress. The fitness journey she's been on became clear. This wasn't overnight. This was consistent effort while managing grief, raising family, and protecting Vaughn's catalog. The reaction was instant and massive. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere people were stunned at how youthful she looked at 50. Hashtags with her name trended. Young women said she inspired them to hit the gym and love themselves naturally. But with the praise came the shade. Some old-school fans of Vaughn felt it was too bold. They brought up how protective Vaughn was over his mom and sisters. In his music and interviews, family was sacred. So seeing Tasha confident and showing skin had a section of the fanbase saying it didn't match the image they had of the Bennett family. The word shameless started floating around in certain comment sections. That's when the focus shifted heavily to the siblings, especially Kayla B. Kayla B has always been more outspoken than most in the family. After Vaughn passed, she did interviews, posted memories, and even got into public spats defending her brother's name. She's also been building her own platform, modeling, music, influencer life. So when her mom's photos blew up, people flooded her comments and DMs asking for her reaction. For days it was quiet. Then subtle signs started appearing. Kayla posted some throwback pictures with her mom. She liked certain supportive comments. In one story she reposted something about women empowerment. It wasn't a direct statement, but it felt like quiet support. Still, the internet wanted more. They wanted a big reaction video or a long post. Some even tagged her asking if Vaughn would approve. That pressure is heavy. Kayla is in her 30s now, still dealing with the loss of her brother while trying to live her life. Family sources and old clips show there have been tensions in the past. Things like how money from the estate was handled, who gets to speak for Vaughn, and how public the family should be. Some relatives felt Kayla crossed lines after Vaughn died. So this moment with Tasha's photos brought those old wounds back for some observers. But here's what a lot of people miss. Tasha isn't doing this for clout. She's doing it because for the first time in years, she has the space to focus on herself. Vaughn made sure of that. He owned his masters. He kept his publishing. When he passed, the catalog became a steady stream of income for the family. Every stream, every placement, every licensing deal, Tasha and the estate benefit. That generational wealth gave her the freedom to heal on her own terms. The gym, the confidence, the posts, it's all part of her coming back to life after losing a child. Kayla sees that. As a sister who also lost Vaughn, she understands the pain their mom carries every single day. Posting a birthday picture isn't erasing grief, it's living beside it. That's a hard lesson many families never learn. You can honor the dead and still choose to live loudly. Tasha is choosing both. She still visits Vaughn's grave regularly. She still pushes his music. She still talks about him. But she's also refusing to let grief keep her frozen in time. Now the real question everybody's asking: how does Kayla really feel behind the cameras? From the outside, it looks like she's supportive. Mother-daughter photos together show love. But in Chicago drill family culture, image and respect are everything. Some fans worry that if Tasha keeps this energy, it might affect how people see Vaughn's legacy. They want the family to stay solid in a certain traditional way. Kayla is caught in the middle of that expectation. This situation also highlights something bigger in hip-hop. So many artists come from the streets, blow up, and then pass young. Their mothers are left to carry everything: the pain, the money, the fame, the criticism. Tasha is one of the strongest examples we've seen. At 50, she's not hiding. She's evolving. And whether Kayla says it out loud or not, watching her mom do that has to be inspiring and complicated at the same time. As the viral wave continued, more context came out. Tasha wasn't just posting for attention. She was speaking directly to women who feel like life ends after a certain age or after tragedy. She was showing that you can survive the worst thing imaginable, losing a child, and still find joy in your own skin. That message landed hard with a lot of mothers in the comments. They related to her journey. Kayla B, being the younger generation, represents something different. She's still in the prime of her life, still active in music and social media. Her reaction, or calm response, might be teaching the family a new way to move forward. No more hiding. No more shrinking because of what people might say. Just living. We still got more to unpack though, gang. The deeper family dynamics, what Vaughn would probably say if he was here, how this affects the estate, and where Kayla stands long-term with all of it. That's coming right up in the final part. So where does this leave the Bennett family moving forward? That's the real question, gang. Because this isn't just about one viral birthday post. This is about how a family survives after losing their biggest star and still tries to find balance between honoring the past and living in the present. Kayla B has been watching her mom evolve in real time. From the early days of grief when everything was raw and heavy, to now 5+ years later, where Tasha is claiming her confidence and using her platform. In many ways, Kayla's calm reaction shows growth. She hasn't fed into the negative noise. She hasn't gone live dragging anybody. Instead, she's let the pictures speak and focused on family unity where it matters. That quiet strength says a lot. It shows she understands her mom has carried enough already. Losing Vaughn changed all of them forever. If Tasha finds healing in fitness, self-love, and sharing her journey, Kayla seems willing to let her have that. But let's not act like it's all smooth. The internet is brutal. Every like, every comment, every old clip gets brought up. People still bring up past family disagreements involving Kayla, money, respect, who controls the narrative around Vaughn. Those things don't disappear just because mom turned 50 and looked good doing it. The pressure on Kayla is different. She's the sister. She's expected to uphold the protective energy Vaughn had. Some fans want her to be the voice saying that's too far. Others praise her for minding her business and letting her mom live. And that brings us to the biggest what if hanging over this whole situation. What would King Vaughn think? Vaughn was a street nigga through and through. Loyal to his people. Protective over his mom and sisters like crazy. In his lyrics, he talked about getting his family out the hood, making sure they never struggled, and keeping certain energies away. Would he have been cool with his mom at 50 posting bold, body-positive photos for the world? That debate is splitting comment sections everywhere. One side says yes, because above all, Vaughn wanted his mom happy. He wanted her to enjoy the fruits of his labor. The masters, the houses, the financial security, that was his promise. If she's finally in a place where she can smile, feel beautiful, and inspire others, he would have been proud. The other side says no. They argue Vaughn was old school. He wouldn't want his mom in the same viral conversations that young rappers' girlfriends and models live in. He would have told her to keep it private out of respect for the family name. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Vaughn was complicated. He was street, but he was also a son who loved his mother deeply. He might have had words for her in private, but ultimately wanted her at peace. Tasha knows her son better than anybody. She raised him. She made decisions on his posthumous album Grandson. She knows what he stood for. If she's choosing to post these pictures, it's because she believes it doesn't disrespect his memory. It honors the freedom he died trying to give her. Beyond the photos, Tasha continues doing the real work. She still visits Vaughn's grave. She still pushes his music. She still makes sure murals stay up in Chicago so Block and the city remember who Davon Bennett was. That's the balance. She's not forgetting her son to live her life. She's carrying him while living her life. Kayla sees that effort. As a sister, she's also trying to figure out her own role, how to honor Vaughn while building something for herself. This moment with the 50th birthday photos is bigger than the Bennett family. It's about Black mothers, grief, resilience, and refusing to disappear after tragedy. Too many women in the culture get pushed into the background once their famous child is gone. Tasha is refusing that box. At 50, she's showing up as a full woman, mother, grandmother, businesswoman, survivor. That's powerful. Kayla B's reaction, or lack of explosive reaction, might be the healthiest thing right now. No added drama. No public fighting. Just letting her mom have her moment while the family continues its private healing. In a world that profits off family beef and mess, their restraint is loud. So gang, let me leave y'all with this full picture. Tasha Bennett at 50 is not being shameless. She's being free. Free from the constant survival mode of Block. Free from wondering how to feed her kids. Free from the heaviest grief a mother can carry. King Vaughn made that freedom possible. His talent, his hustle, his masters, they keep taking care of her even now. And if she wants to celebrate that by feeling beautiful in her skin, we should celebrate with her. Kayla B is watching, learning, and navigating her own path as Vaughn's sister. She's proud of her mom's glow. She's protective of her brother's name. And somewhere in between, she's trying to find peace for herself too. That's real life after loss. It's not clean. It's not perfect. But it's theirs. If this story hit you different, if it made you think about your own family, grief, or what legacy really means, drop a like, share it with somebody, and subscribe because we're bringing more real conversations like this. Tell me in the comments, are you Team Tasha living her best life at 50? Or do you think Kayla should have said something stronger? Would Vaughn have approved these photos or shut it down? I'm reading every comment. This is what happens when a mother refuses to stay broken. This is what happens when a son's love keeps working long after he's gone. This is the Bennett family in 2026. Still standing, still growing, still figuring it out. Respect to Tasha. Respect to Kayla. And forever rest in power to King Vaughn. We out. Peace.